What's going on? We're back here at the Chris and Ant Show.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, Ant?
Not much, brother. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We got a great show for you today. We got some hot topics on the list. The first one is a kind of a sad one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is for real.
Yeah, 8 people killed at the Travis Scott Astro World Festival in Houston. Terrible news.
Terrible news. Terrible.
Not much you can say other than that. Colin Powell passes away to COVID-19 complications, age 84. So,
yep,
got a lot of people that
a lot
are
of passing away.
A lot of people going down right now, and
yep.
Well, I wish the best to your family. Pfizer stock soars.
It went zoom. Rocket ship.
Soared a little bit there. They're
not
testing
rocket.
the
I don't know if it's rocket ship,
COVID-19 pill. Not a rocket ship.
Not a rocket.
It busted up
Yeah,
a few points. What else we got there, bro?
Also, Aaron Rodgers tests positive for COVID. So he's not going to be playing this week. And he also said some very interesting things about his COVID regimen. So we're definitely going to talk about that. Also, the Browns are cutting or already cut OBJ after the controversial releasing of the video where, you know, Baker Mayfield just isn't passing him the ball. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Chris, the Knicks beat the Bucks. I don't know.
They did beat the Bucks. We'll talk about it.
We're talking about that. And last on the agenda, it's fight night tonight. We got a lot of great fights, UFC and boxing. So we're going to talk about Canelo and Plant, Thug Rose versus Weili, and Usman versus Covington. We're going to give some predictions. And, yeah, that's what we're rolling with today. So let's get it on.
That's right. Best card they've ever created.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again,
right. All right.
So our first topic here, again, 8 people killed at the Travis Scott Astro World Festival in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just terrible news for the music community, terrible news just in general. I mean, you never go to a music festival and think, you know, something like that is going to happen.
Right.
One of the people that passed was a 10-year-old child.
Wow.
I'm not sure why a 10-year-old child is there, but nonetheless, it's still sad. That's terrible news. There are about 50,000 people at this festival, and it happened during a crowd surge. So 50,000, I don't know how many people were in the surge, maybe all of them, pushed forward to the front of the stage. 8 people die. I think something like over 300 people were treated for other kinds of injuries. And it's just sad. Honestly, it's just sad. I've been to concerts, rock concerts. I've been in these surges before.
Yeah, sometimes when them crowds get pushing, it's tough.
It's tough.
You can't,
Yeah, they get scary. Sometimes it gets hard to breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just say that if you're out there and you're in these surges and you want to get out of the surge, what I always did is I crowd surfed. I'd tell people around me, pick me up, and I would try to crowd surf my way to the front or to the back, and I would get out of the crowd.
That's a
the
decent way to get out.
That's like the only way to get out.
You're probably right about that. And like you said, 8 passed away at the Travis Scott concert because of a surge, and just, big prayers, big love goes out to all the families affected by that. Yeah. Just you can't say enough about that, but you're absolutely right. We've been to the concerts where the surge happens, and it's just impossible to even push against that whole crowd. If you try it, you just fail. You kind of just turn into a big wave of bodies.
It's hard to breathe.
So, I was also reading reports that there was people trying to help all the people up, but they said it was very muddy there, which obviously we've been to the outdoor concerts. They get muddy if it gets wet. You know, people are throwing beers everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say with the water, sweat, the air falling on the ground.
They were saying it was, muddy, so they couldn't, pull people up. And I even saw a video, which I kind of regretting that I even seen it, but there was a guy that was being carried out by the security, and you could literally see him. He was just, unconscious for sure. And Travis Scott is just up on like this, scaffolding, I guess.
Yeah.
Just continuing to sing. And then all these fans.
Well, he did stop it. He did once he realized it. He stopped it.
Yeah, of course.
Told security to help people out and stuff. So he did it once but it's so 50,000 people, lights dark, flashing lights. It's hard to even see what's going on in the crowd.
I don't know that Travis Scott. I don't think the fans can really get mad at Travis Scott even if he was singing, because first off, you don't know if you didn't know the guy's health situation from seeing him at 40 feet up on a scaffolding, and he's in the crowd. Like, he looked unconscious, yeah, but you might not have been able to tell he was unconscious from up there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know that Travis Scott meant any negative, but yeah, that's just a terrible situation to be in. So again, hats off, and love and prayers go out to all the families and people, friends affected by that tragedy. I mean, this one's going to be felt in the music world for quite some time, I think.
Yeah, I would just say, if you're in that music crowd, learn from this. If you're surging the front stages, if you're young, you shouldn't be in there. Maybe think about surging the front if you're in that big of a crowd or something. Obviously we don't want this to happen, moving forward. So like you said, I hope I hope they find some time to heal. This is a terrible event. My heart goes out to everyone affected, and I hope that, something like this never happens, especially at a music event. I mean, that's just terrible.
And you know what this might surge, though, is this might get these concert holders to start, paying attention to these little scenes more, when the surges or maybe the mosh pits start, maybe these artists are going to start looking for this more. So this will have some benefits, but it's a terrible tragedy.
Agreed. Colin Powell passes away at age 84 to COVID-19 complications. So 84 years old. I mean, Colin Powell's a patriot, an American patriot. He's done a lot to fight for, American freedoms, to protect and to serve the people of the great United States. So, I mean, 84, he had a great life. I mean, I can't say that 84 it's not a young age to die, right? I mean, I wish he would have lasted as long as possible, but he did have some underlying health issues there. At 84. He was completely vaccinated. So he passed away to COVID-19 complications, completely vaccinated. I'm not sure what the complications were. They haven't really came out and said, exactly what happened, just that he passed from complications.
Yeah.
But I mean, realistically, I appreciate you, Colin. Colin. I appreciate you. I mean, you've been fighting for our freedoms. You're a great American. You're a great person. So we appreciate you. Hats off to you. And rest in peace, of course.
Absolutely. And again, we've been starting this out a little bit today, but that's what's in the news. Hearts, prayers, love goes out to all the family and friends of Colin Powell. He had a lot of them because, like you said, he was a patriot. He was national security advisor to Ronald Reagan in '87. He was the first African American of the Joint Chief of Staff under George Bush. So, I mean, his credentials are just, untouchable. I mean, the man is a patriot. He's a legend. Hats off, love to him, prayers.
Yeah,
to everyone affected.
Probably most people will never touch.
He's one of a kind. He's amazing. So again, hate to see somebody go out, but like you said, 84. So he did live a good life and
lived a good life. His legacy is going to be remembered. He's left his stamp on American history.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's definitely done a lot of great things. So, Colin Powell, we appreciate you. Colin Powell's family, thank you for, providing the world with a great human being and a great role model to us Americans. And, we hope that you guys find that peace you need and grieve the way you need to and rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Colin Powell. So on lighter news, Pfizer stock soars after a positive pill test result. What do you think about that, bro?
So yeah, Pfizer, apparently they're testing a COVID-19 pill. So that, kind of like a vaccine, so you don't have to take a shot. You potentially can take a pill. And their stock jumped up, I want to say 11% because of the news. So if you add some Pfizer stock, if you're holding some of it,
boom.
You definitely are excited about that, right?
Yeah,
so you can't be mad there. I mean, if you're not investing your money, you're making a mistake. So, we're investors. We manage a hedge fund. We firmly believe that you should be putting your money into investments, into markets, crypto, options, stocks, whatever you're comfortable with so that you can grow your money. So I love that their stock soared. Testing a COVID-19 pill, I mean, this is what I think. why do we need another vehicle that's a COVID-19 vaccine? That's what I honestly think. I mean, we have people that are passing from cancer, from cardiac arrest, from all these other different things, and they're starting to overlook these more serious diseases because of COVID.
Yeah, I mean, that's
So, like,
that's
do we
not a
really
lie.
need every single medicine developer in the United States and the world creating more COVID-19 things? Like, we
I
haven't
mean,
solved cancer yet. We haven't solved a lot of these things that are definitely more detrimental to people's life and well-being. Yet here, everybody in the world is focusing on COVID-19, vaccinate this, pills for that, COVID-19 rapid
booster
tests,
shots,
booster shots,
kid
blah
shots,
blah
adult
blah.
shots.
Like,
They got it all.
let's get back to pre-COVID when we were worried about things that were a little bit more serious. I mean, people, like I said, more people are dying to cardiac arrest, and I don't
Heart
see that
disease.
same energy. You know, I don't see that same energy from these medicine makers, from these politicians, from general media saying, "Hey, stop eating fast food. Stop eating this. It's bad for your health. You're going to
Right.
die at a young age. You're going to die." You don't see that. But you
Yeah.
see everybody concerned about a COVID-19 vaccine or not being vaccinated or blah, blah, blah. Aaron can't play football. Kyrie can't play basketball.
Yeah.
You have all
Because
this
of the
stuff.
flu. The flu.
Yeah, over the flu. So, like, that's what I'm kind of tired of, to be honest with you. Let's get back to pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And let's focus more on things like cancer. Like, let's get cancer out of the way. Like, I saw people getting misdiagnosed or late diagnosed with cancer because they're so worried about COVID.
Right. I don't disagree with that for sure. I mean, it is tight though. If you had the Pfizer stock, you soared 11% yesterday, so that's what's up. I mean, you got a little positive percentage there. The pill actually caused reducing of hospitalization and death for high risk patients. So that was the big news behind the pill, and why it got probably 11% surge. The funny thing is Moderna and some of the Novavax and some of the other vaccines.
Let Colin get one of them pills.
Well, my goodness. Yeah, they
Or
probably should have.
Colin. I keep saying Colin. It's Colin.
So, yeah, they should have. But some of them others, the COVID stocks are starting to decrease. So Pfizer was one of the only ones that increased the other day. So, I mean, that's cool. But I do agree with you that now that COVID hit and these Democrats and politicians are really trying to push the fear to get their agenda across, they don't want you to think about anything else. They don't want you to think about cancer. They don't want you to think about heart disease. I mean, breast cancer, cervical cancer, lymphoma, there's cancers for pretty much every part of your body. Yeah. And we're ignoring them all for COVID, which is the flu on steroids a little bit. So, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. But it is cool news. I mean, if Pfizer is also having they got a big team. So I can't imagine that they took everybody off everything else and put them all on COVID.
Sure.
They have to have some people still working on their heart disease pills or whatever else. I guarantee you Pfizer is in every aspect of medicine, I'm sure. So,
I mean, you would think that.
I would hope that they didn't, but I agree with you there. And on the COVID note, Aaron Rodgers tests positive for COVID, so he's not playing this week. So the Packers are going to have a little bit harder time without Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if you lose Aaron Rodgers, that's a big loss there. So he's not playing this week. The reason he says he's not vaccinated too, which everybody's getting on him about this whole vaccination thing, because the whole woke media, they just love to tell you how to live your life. If you don't do this, you're da-da-da. Like, shut up, you woke. Anyway, so he said he's allergic to the COVID, some of the ingredients in the COVID vaccine, which is why he hasn't taken them, which is a good idea. If you're allergic to the ingredients, I would say, why would you be taking them? So, I mean, how could you hate on Aaron Rodgers for that? And he's also, I think one cool thing he says is, he said, health is not a one-size-fits-all, and he doesn't think people should try and fit it into that mold. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not the same. So, and he said he doesn't understand why people are trying to fit it in the mold because of a crazy woke culture. So, I agree with him. I mean, this whole woke culture, cancel culture, I can tell you what to do culture just because I think I know what I'm talking about. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you there. And, maybe if Aaron Rodgers would have got that Pfizer COVID pill, maybe he wouldn't be allergic to the stuff in the pill. I don't know. But
yeah, maybe
realistically, he probably wouldn't take that pill either. So,
which is his right.
I think that's what's most exciting about the Pfizer news is, that the stock went up 11%. If you're a stockholder, you saw some of them gains. And, that's what I think is the coolest thing. So if you're an accredited investor, I'm just going to put a little shameless plug in now. Go to loom.investments.
Yep.
Take a look at our hedge fund, high risk, high reward kind of style investing.
Throw the email in there.
And drop us your email. If you're an accredited investor, we'll help you out there. But jumping back to Aaron Rodgers, he can't play some football. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. I think that it's kind of being overblown. It's more of like a dog and pony show to me.
Yeah,
in the military, that's what we used to
dog
say.
And pony show.
When the officers would come around, is we have to put on the dog and pony show.
Yep.
And that's kind of to me what this is. Schools across the world, or across the U.S. at least, and probably across the world, are putting on this dog and pony show. You got students wearing masks for no reasons. You got teachers wearing masks for no reasons. I believe they all have to be vaccinated anyway, and so it's like you got a vaccination, but you can still get COVID when you're vaccinated. You can still die when you're vaccinated. So is it effective?
Why are we wearing the mask anyway if we're vaccinated?
Is it effective? I'm not really sure.
Goodness.
You got 1% of the people somewhere around there that get COVID pass away, and yet again, like I was saying, we're ignoring things like cancer and cardiac problems and just obesity and all of these other things we're completely ignoring to focus on COVID. So
to be fair enough, obesity's always been kind of ignored in America.
Well, yeah, but my point is let's have the same energy for the things that are actually affecting our people. Like we don't want an obese group of Americans. We want healthy Americans.
Well, they like to eat.
They
like to eat.
That would be
food.
something we should. And this is the thing: COVID-19 will kill you if you are obese a lot more than it will if you're not. If you're in shape, you're pretty good unless you're older. So realistically, if we were to push, losing weight and being more healthy, then we would actually be able to fight COVID-19 better as a society. So it all comes back to just being healthy Americans.
Yeah.
You don't push being healthy Americans, but you push COVID-19 that's killing 1% of the people.
Well,
so to me, I'm glad like Aaron Rodgers, Kyrie Irving, people with big names are kind of, stepping back and saying, I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm not going to, play into the dog and pony show, because people have got to start standing up against this. If your kids are in schools wearing a mask, stand up against it. If you want to
talk to your governors, your mayors, get the mandates out of there. Throw your votes in. If you want to
take Ivermectin, go take some Ivermectin. Do some different studies on what you want to take. Like Aaron Rodgers said, health isn't a one size fits all kind of problem. So, for me, that's what I would say. Do your research. You want to take something different, take something different. Ivermectin seems to be like a pretty good.
I'm not taking
from the
any
studies.
Of
it seems to be like a pretty good
personally.
Secondary choice if you want to take some medicine. So I'm just saying, you don't want to take nothing.
I ain't taking none of
That's fine, but if somebody else wants to take it, quit trolling them. Let them talk to his doctor.
Oh, they can take it.
Let them figure it out.
Absolutely. I don't care what they take.
Let your immune system.
But my that's how I look at it. My immune system should be able to fight whatever. So unless my arm's falling off or I got some serious problems, I'm not taking none of this.
Right.
That's how I look at it. My body should be good enough to fight it. And it's been working I've been good, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I don't know. OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., cut from the Browns after his dad released a video of all the times OBJ was open and Baker did not throw him the ball. So you can imagine that probably, caused a lot of, weight room or locker room drama. I'm sure it did. But you know what one thing is? Everybody's saying like Odell Beckham knew he was going to release the video, and I don't know if he did or not, but how can you assume that Odell Beckham knew his dad was going to release that video? Do you think he actually ask his dad for permission to post something? Because I know, when I was watching my little brothers play football, if I had some videos of all the times that they called it things, I might have released a video about the coaches. I would have, and if I did, I would not have asked my brothers for permission. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I would have, but you can't assume Odell Beckham was in on it. I don't think, but maybe he was. I don't know. But I mean, I don't love the decision. I really don't. I mean, what does it do? It just puts us down another receiver. Some of our receivers are hurt. I mean, I don't think it's Odell's fault that Baker can't throw him the ball properly. I mean, he can't catch something that's not thrown at him. So I mean,
yeah, he does drop it sometimes, but
a little bit. But I mean, his route run, he's always open. His route running is ridiculous, and he never gets the ball thrown to him, which I mean is crazy. But even at that point, if we're gonna release him, can we trade the man? Can we at least get a draft pick or something for OBJ? I mean, we're just cutting him and releasing him to the wayside. Some people say they should have released Baker, or traded Baker and kept OBJ. So, I mean, that's a thing. So, I don't know. I don't love the move. But now that OBJ is gone, I would love to see him in a Jaguars jersey. I'm not going to lie. With Trevor Lawrence there, they don't have many weapons at the receiver. And he could actually, I would love to see him in a Jacksonville jersey. So, maybe that's a prediction. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you there. And I mean, I'd like to see him in a Bucs jersey. I'd love to see OBJ go to
ridiculous.
Tampa Bay and go win a Super Bowl after just being released from the terrible Browns. I'm a huge Browns fan, and I want to let you know. And that's why, to me, it's such a travesty. Okay? First off, it shouldn't take Odell Beckham's dad to look at tape and realize that an open Odell Beckham is never getting the ball. Isn't that our coaching staff and our film study staff and everybody else in our organization's job to look at the film and say, hey, Baker, Odell's open a good amount of the time. Why are you not throwing it to him? Right?
Throw OBJ the ball.
So to me, this highlights our problems. Our problems have been management since day one. We don't know how to draft.
Yeah, we draft that for years.
Baker Mayfield over Josh Allen, over Lamar Jackson, I want to say Deshaun Watson. I believe we could have got Patty Mahomes as well, and we skipped over all of these players in a draft, and here we are with Baker Mayfield. And what blows me up about Browns fans
he was a
is
Heisman,
like, oh, be a Browns fan. If you're a Browns fan and you want to keep Baker, to me, what kind of Browns fan are you? Are you a Browns fan that never wants to win a Super Bowl? Are you a Browns fan that wants to be bottom tier team year in and year out? Like, how is that being a Browns fan?
Bottom tier. Not bottom tier.
What do you mean? The Browns are last in their division right now. We might not even make the playoffs.
Well,
he's 29th in the league in touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's not good, and he never has been. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Matt Stafford. He's not an elite quarterback that's going to get you a Super Bowl. So let's get rid of Baker. I don't really care that we got rid of OBJ, but this is the problem. Cleveland is acting like OBJ was the problem. He's not. OBJ was not the problem, okay?
No, he wasn't.
And it's interesting to look into the OBJ Baker story because it makes me even more convinced that Baker's not the guy. You want to know the reason Baker doesn't throw him the ball?
Because he can't throw the ball?
No. Well, yeah, that too. But OBJ likes to break his routes. He runs random routes, like if he's on a post and it's not open or something, he'll break his routes and get to the open spots on the field. And that's why he's open all the time, because he's not stuck on a route. Okay? Baker he can only throw it to someone running the route of the play. So he can't read when Odell is going to break into a new route. He can't read the defense well enough to know what Odell is doing. And that's why he doesn't throw him the ball, because he gets confused at what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I could maybe agree with that, because I feel like you might be able to see somewhat of the confusion in his play.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, with the ball sailing high, the scrambles, he always seems a little flustered or something of the sort.
Yeah, and what I'm saying with that is if you're an NFL quarterback, then you have to be able to read your receivers like that. You have to be able to be on the same page as your receivers. And if you can't read a defense well enough to know what your elite receiver is going to do or which way he's going to break. I mean, look at Peyton Manning. He used to run the offense from the offensive line.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning would be on the same page as his receivers. So, to me, Baker's the problem, not OBJ.
Let's be realistic, though. There's not going to be many quarterbacks out there that do what Peyton Manning does.
Well, I get that, but I'm just saying we need to. We can't get stuck on a shitbag quarterback.
I'm not saying that Baker is the answer, and I almost think that it almost would have been smarter to keep OBJ because everybody has this low stock option of OBJ now because he hasn't got the ball thrown to him forever, but he can still catch. You almost should have traded Baker to somewhere because he has somewhat of trade power, trade stock.
Trade them both.
Maybe trade them both, and actually, I don't know, get
trade
somebody
them both for a good QB.
But if you continue, and the Browns always do this, they continue to play with their players, and then if they get worse, which the trend seems to be there that they continue to get worse, their trade value just plummets.
Right.
And then you can't trade them. You can get Uncrustable for them, and that's about it. So,
not even like a cold, frozen Uncrustable, too, like the good ones. You know what I mean? Yeah. A real hard one with the stale bread Uncrustable.
Yeah, you're getting the moldy, hard Uncrustable with that for sure. All right, so now that I think we're on agreement with the OBJ and Baker thing.
Yeah,
honestly.
Baker's the problem. I think we trade them both. Get a
I
new
still
quarterback.
think we could make it with Baker.
Let's take a
look.
Look
his
at the
head
Rams.
out of his ass. If he gets his head out of his ass, we can do something.
I'm just saying. Look at the Rams. Let's take a page out of their book. Goff, Super Bowl quarterback, wasn't good enough. Yeah. They didn't continue to waste their time on him. They realized, hey, we have a Super Bowl roster. We don't have a Super Bowl quarterback. Let's bring in a Super Bowl quarterback. So they brought in Stafford. Well, that's what needs to happen here in Cleveland.
He's elite.
We need to realize we don't have a Super Bowl quarterback and get rid of him before he is worth nothing, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And then it's a waste of another first-round pick.
Well, we'll see what happens. In other news, Chris, I think you're going to be eating your words on this one. The Knicks just beat the Bucks. They beat the Bucks. My boy Julius Randle, beast mode, 32 points, 12 rebounds. So like I said, he's continuing this double-double trend. So you might want to stop sleeping on him. RJ Barrett, 20 points, 7 rebounds. Young player, still coming into fruition. He's starting to play well. Derrick Rose had 23 points and 8 rebounds. My boy's starting to hoop again.
I'm okay with D Rose doing some shit.
I mean, and one thing, the Knicks shot, I think, 25% from the 3 line in this given night against the Bucks.
Ew.
So I said live by the 3, die by the 3, but they shot the 3 terribly and still beat the Bucks. Now, I will give you this. They didn't have Chris Middleton, and obviously Chris Middleton is the second best player on the Bucks. I mean, he's a beast. So that's going to throw a pipe wrench in there a little bit. But, I mean, the Knicks I think the Knicks are something to talk about. What do you think, bro?
I mean, they did beat the Bucks. I did say, so I kind of ate my words a little here. I did say that the Bucks would beat the Knicks, and then here they go losing to them. However, you said it in one of your last sentences there. Middleton's gone, okay? And Middleton is arguably as good as Randall.
Oh, wait. Remember
this
funny
thing.
They did blow a 20-point lead. The Bucks had a 18-point lead, and they blew that.
Probably because they didn't have Middleton. So I'm just going to say that. I mean, Middleton's up there with Randall. He's definitely better than everybody else on the Knicks. And I think that is the problem with the Knicks. That's why I don't see the Knicks going very far. I mean, without Middleton, that's a huge deal. Huge, huge deal. I mean, that's like when Steph lost Klay Thompson. That's like when LeBron lost Kyrie. That's what it's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
injuries, they happen, and that's a huge. I was not an injury. I think it was COVID, maybe, or something.
I think it was a COVID.
I'm not sure what it was,
maybe.
But missed a couple games, and that's why the Knicks won. So I'm not even alarmed. I saw that they lost, and I was like, oh shoot, I might eat my words. And then I realized that Middleton didn't play, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not worried about that. Because
the Middleton thing is big, but you got to look at the Knicks. They are kind of untraditional as a team, like you're saying. You need 2, 3, but they're deep. They had 3 players score 20, And then they still had Evan Fournier and some other players contributing. So, I mean,
and Giannis
maybe they're figuring out a different method for a new team type of composition. I don't know.
I mean, without Middleton, Giannis has to go 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds to get a win. He had 25 points, I think 7 rebounds.
So wait.
Rebounds.
So Julius Randle outplayed Giannis.
In this game, he did.
Interesting.
Everybody has
Julius
off
is
night.
a beast, bro.
I said Julius was a beast. I said that. But I don't think Julius is enough to carry him through, as I keep saying. Let's see where they stand in the NBA right now, just for shits and gigs.
Who, the Knicks or the Bucks?
We'll look at both. The Knicks are 5. The Bucks are 10. So they're not even in.
The Bucks are out of
one game. They're
missing the playoffs right now.
2 games back. 6-3 for the Knicks. 4-5 for the Bucks.
See, if the Knicks scoot in on that 5 spot, they definitely can make it out of the first round. That's what we've been saying. Now,
but what happens if the Knicks lose like Barrett? Do you think they're winning anything?
Well, okay. Well, probably not. Well, why
gets COVID?
Oh, you're saying for 1 or 2 games? Well, I'm talking about a season here. I'm talking about they're going to make the playoffs. And if they make it at 5 seed, 4 seed, 6 seed, they can win that first round. If they're playing,
they might. I told you they weren't going past the second. They could possibly squeak a first round victory out of there.
That's what
they're
I'm
not
calling.
going past the second.
Second's going to be tough. I mean, we'll see though. If they continue to develop like they're developing, and that 3-point shot is on in the playoffs, they're going to be tough to beat. They got a deep roster.
So great weekend for fighting sports. If you love fighting sports, combat sports,
love it.
We love combat sports.
Them.
Boxing, MMA. We don't miss very many fights. One of our favorite things probably is to watch, fights. And we got one of the best weekends probably that you could look at in combat history maybe. I mean, I'm not sure.
This weekend,
is a great weekend.
This weekend right here, honestly, it's one of the best fight weekends that we've seen in our lifetime, to be honest. I mean, UFC and boxing throwing huge events on the same exact night, and the names on this card are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just amazing. Who's fighting, bro?
So this weekend, we're going to have, in the boxing arena, we're going to have Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez.
My gosh.
So a lot of people would argue that Canelo could have potentially beat Mayweather had they met, a little bit later in Canelo's career.
If you ask Canelo, he says he would beat him now. Yeah.
Darren Williams is fighting too soon.
He's fighting this. Is he fighting on the same?
No.
Oh, he's fighting on the undercard? Oh my goodness.
And then
who's he fighting? Wait, Jay, who's he fighting?
Yeah, who's he fighting, Jack?
Figure that out for us, Jay, and let us know.
But you got Canelo Alvarez, who some people say Mayweather would get beat by Canelo later on in his career. Mayweather's the GOAT, okay?
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. I didn't always love him. It's kind of like that Tom Brady thing. Didn't always love Tom Brady until I could no longer say that he wasn't the GOAT.
Yeah.
And now I love Tom Brady, okay? So Mayweather's very similar to that same kind of guy. Some people hate him.
Darren Williams is fighting Frank Gore?
Yeah, that's basketball versus NBA versus NFL.
That's going to be epic.
So we get like these entertainment fights now.
Wait, is that in the Jake Paul card or is that in the Canelo card?
That might be Jake Paul.
I think that's a Jake Paul card.
I think that's on the Jake Paul Tommy Fury card.
Yeah, that is.
But it's still that. I mean, that's still going to be a great fight. I don't think it's this weekend.
That's not this weekend.
Like I said, Canelo could possibly one of the greats. Caleb Plant's undefeated, trying to prove himself.
Yeah.
He's an American, which I love. Right?
Yeah,
I'm always rooting for the American.
So who you taking in the Plant and Canelo fight? What's your predictions here?
So what I'm thinking, I don't love my prediction because, again, Caleb Plant's an American, and I wish I could predict that he's going to win. So I'm going to say that I want Caleb Plant to win, but I'm going to predict that he gets knocked out in 8 rounds or less.
8 rounds or less. Honestly, I was actually kind of going with the same thing. Like, I love boxing. I love America. So usually I go for the American. Just like I was rooting for Deontay Wilder against Fury.
He's not good enough to beat Fury, though.
I was just rooting for him. But Canelo holds a special place in my heart, to be honest, because he is just so so
he's
good.
a beast.
I love watching Canelo fight. So I would love to see Caleb Plant come up with the upset and bring one home for America. I don't know that that's going to happen. I have Canelo Alvarez beating him in 8. He's probably going to knock him out. He is going to be.
We got the same prediction.
He's going to be dancing around him. He's going to be dodging his punches. He's going to be hitting him with those hard body shots. I mean,
did you see the lineup when Caleb Plant like tried to slap him or punch him or something, and Canelo
he dodged
it and slapped him twice or something?
Yeah, for sure, hilarious. Yeah, I did see that. He dodged the hell out of it, did he? He's so fast, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I mean, after seeing that, like Caleb, that was the wrong play, my boy. You missed him he wasn't even ready to. He was just chilling, and you still missed him, and then he clapped you twice with little slaps.
Yeah, he
didn't even have to punch you because he's so classy. He's like, I'll just slap this dude twice and laugh.
Right. Yeah, he's. It's going to be tough to beat Canelo. Like I said, we're kind of rocking for Plant because he's an American, but it's going to be very difficult to beat Canelo. So I can't.
Well, you saw my prediction. My prediction's Canelo.
Mine too, absolutely. So the next fight, Thug Rose versus Weili. Now you already know who we're picking on this.
Yeah, America all the way.
Now this is a UFC card. This is
fuck communism.
Absolutely. Fuck China. This is America versus China, baby. Thug Rose is about to show her exactly what she showed her last time. She's about to knock her out. Now, I do think Weili is going to be fighting with a little bit of a chip on her shoulder because they always do in the second fight. So I don't think it's going to end as quick. But I have Thug Rose giving her the hands in round 4. She's knocking her out in round 4. She's laying Weili to sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. You know, America versus China. Thug Rose Namajunas. I think that's how you say it. Namajunas. And then you got Weili Zhang. And then you also got Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington later. Or actually, that's, I think, maybe one of the first fights. Or
no, that's the main card. That's the last fight.
Oh, that's
the first fight is the Michael Chandler versus.
So you got Michael Chandler and.
Who? Gaethje, that's right.
Yeah, Michael Chandler Gaethje.
What
in the
a
first
card.
round.
My goodness.
First fight. Then you got Thug Rose and Weili, and then you got Usman and Covington all on the same card. I mean, Dana White always says this is the best card we ever created. Every
this
UFC,
is a good card.
It's like a running joke we have here, especially me and the producer Jay. But this might be the best card they ever created.
Yeah, this one might be it. So actually, now that we bring that up, who do you have for the Gaethje Chandler fight? I already know who you're gonna say.
All right, so I'm gonna say Thug Rose, Weili. Thug Rose knocks her out within 3 rounds. Just by giving her them hands.
Okay,
I got her in 3 rounds. And you saw Weili was looking real American when she was in that press conference.
She gave her a little buzz cut or something.
She also is training in America, so that shows
smart woman
where she wants to be, at least in my eyes.
I wouldn't go back.
So I'm
to China.
going Thug Rose 3 rounds, and then I think Kamaru beats Colby Covington into a pulp, just like he did the first time. Okay, and then I think Colby runs out of the octagon, doesn't shake his hand. As much as I'd like to root for Colby, I just don't think he's good enough.
I'm going against you on that one.
Kamaru Snoozman.
I'm going against you on that one.
Snoozman's the most boring champ that we've seen. It's like watching the Duncan Spurs play basketball.
And you still didn't answer the question about the Gaethje.
I was getting there.
Yeah,
I was getting there.
Slowly.
So Gaethje Chandler. I'm going Gaethje. UFC man.
I knew you were going
Forget
Gaethje.
Bellator. I like the way Gaethje fights.
Yeah.
He lost to Khabib, I think, only really. Maybe he lost to someone else in there. Maybe Poirier. I think, he lost to Poirier.
Which Poirier's been showing out
really
lately.
Nice. So, Gaethje is the real deal. Chandler seems to be somewhat untested. And I just like Gaethje, so I'm going to go Gaethje with a knockout in 3.
Yeah. That's probably not a title fight, so that probably is a 3-round fight there.
I think it's probably like
it might be a 5 though. Yeah, it might be a 5 because they're like higher. Yeah, ranking.
Like a fighting next for the title kind of fight.
So it might be 5. I kind of tend to agree with you. Didn't Michael Chandler lose his last fight? I feel like he did. Didn't he?
He lost to the champ, I think, Oliveira. Is that right?
Oh, well.
Who did he lose to, Jack?
Oliveira. Well, I mean, that's a good person to lose to, but I don't know.
But he got that fight. I think that was like one of his first fights in the UFC. That's
right.
Had to have been how they got him over to the UFC.
I mean,
in the contract will give you a title fight.
And he lost, like you're saying, he's unbattle tested in the UFC.
Yeah, Oliveira looked good.
So, and Gaethje, we love Gaethje. We've always loved Gaethje. He's a boxer. He stands up and fights you. Michael Chandler seems more like a wrestler. I don't love the wrestling style. I'm a boxer. I want the boxer.
I'll just say, Khabib
I'm going
is
Gaethje in 3. Oh, no, I'm going Gaethje in 2, actually. He's going to knock him out in 2.
I know you like the knockout style, but I'll just say this. Khabib is the GOAT, and the reason he's the GOAT.
He's not the GOAT. John Jones is the GOAT.
John Jones, maybe, arguably. I'm just saying Khabib is arguably the GOAT, and the reason is because he's a ground fighter, not because he's a stand-up guy.
No, I don't know. I think John Jones is the GOAT for sure.
John Jones has some losses, though.
He has one loss, and it's because he got disqualified.
He got DQ'd on some
but he was beating the brakes off that.
He did get DQ'd on some dumb shit. You should know that, though. He elbowed him in the head while he was
That guy stood no chance. He was getting slaughtered.
Yeah. No, he was.
I don't
disagree with that.
Okay. So also Colby Covington. I'm disagreeing with you on the Usman Covington fight. I'm going with Covington, and I'm going to go with 3.
Simply because he's an American?
No, not because he's an American.
American made?
He is American made.
Like steel?
He voted for Trump, so there's that, But no, it's because he's built for tough, and I just think he has a chip on his shoulder. He has a chip on his shoulder. I always talk about that in the second fight. The people with the chip on the shoulder, they always come in. He was probably watching tape, seeing where his weaknesses are. I hope he was.
Usman was too.
He was probably training very hard, and Usman might, he might underclass him a little bit.
Step on his feet.
And Covington really dislikes him, so
I think that makes it worse for a fighter.
It does make it worse, but if he can fight and control that aggression and use it in his advantage, it could turn the tables. I think Covington's going to surprise everyone. Usman. I think it's going to go quick. I think either Usman's going to beat him quick, or I think Covington's going to knock him out. I don't think this fight's going the distance.
That one will be a longer fight.
They got animosity. They're gonna try to break each other's jaw in the first 10 seconds.
Usman already broke his jaw.
Well, then if he breaks his jaw again, it definitely ain't going to 5.
We'll see.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna go. I think that one's gonna be a shorter fight, but it's gonna be a slaughterhouse.
It's hard for me to like Colby, as American as he is. I feel like he sleeps with an eagle.
He might sleep with an eagle. He might.
But nonetheless, he's just a little bit over the top. He's almost, I don't know.
Too much for you? He's too much for you?
No, he's a little
wow.
He attacks people's families.
That's true.
All he says, everything he says is just it's just like.
The whole tribal thing was kind of weird. The whole tribal.
And it's not that entertaining because it's like white trash jokes. Like all he said, "Oh, my suit's worth more than your car." Like that's all he kept saying the other night. Like
that was an ugly suit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
it looked like it was graffiti spray painted.
You're paying that much for a suit, but do you invest? I don't know. He probably doesn't invest in anything. He's an idiot.
Right. The suit matched your book, which is good. But if you're buying a suit and you got that much money. That wasn't a Gucci suit or not. Gucci ain't made
You said who made it, but I don't. But that's all I'm saying.
That was ugly.
The trash talking was kind of corny. Like McGregor, I love when McGregor trashed because he's funny, he's witty, he comes up with all this crazy shit that makes you laugh. Colby just says the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, well,
kind of makes himself look like an idiot, and then he goes right to a racial joke.
I just don't love Usman because he's boring to watch. No, he's un-American. He's not even American. So I mean, that's a thing. That he was stepping on toes in one of his title fights. I mean, come on.
I don't disagree with that. That was weak.
And then Colby Covington called him out because he faked an eye poke, and in the replay, he faked it on the eye that was on the opposite side of where his hand was. So, if he would have had an eye poke, it would have been the opposite eye, but he was faking it to get a timeout. So Covington said if he wouldn't have faked that, he would have knocked him out in the first fight. So, I mean,
see that.
You're out here stepping on toes, faking eye pokes. You're out here, I don't know.
So where do you got Colby then? What do you got Colby in?
What's 3? Colby knocking out 3. Yeah, that's what I got. Yes, sir.
I honestly, I hope that you're right because I don't like Snoozman as a champ. I just think that he's good. So I hope that you're right, and I hope that this is one of the times that my prediction's wrong and yours is right.
It's gonna be right.
Doesn't happen.
Yours
often.
is usually wrong. But
I'd be okay with this one.
But just like the Bucks Knicks.
Well, that's the show for today.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, comment, everything.
Notification bell.
Notification bell. Turn the notifications on.
Yep.
You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, at just search Chris and Ant, and we will pop up. So please go follow that.
That's right. And go get the book, Sell More, Live More. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble if you want it on there.
The hardback on, I'm going to get the hardback on Barnes & Noble.
And if you're an accredited investor who's not investing, go to loom.investments, type in your email. Let's have a chat because we can help you, beat inflation because it's pretty high right now.
Yep, let's get it. So again, thanks for joining us. And until next time.